Even in a slice-of-life visual novel, I expect there to be something more than what is presented in the premise of the game. I just need something to keep me invested and interested in the characters outside of what is written on the box. Sadly, Frontwing's Yukikoi Melt doesn't offer any of that. It doesn't even expand on gameplay features that it introduces within the first 30 minutes. Yukikoi Melt stars your male tsundere protagonist, Muharu Okazaki, a boy who recently moved to the snowy town of Yubane to attend school. However, there's one massive issue with this. He hates winter. Any chance that Muharu gets, he will proclaim his hatred for the cold. The story does well to sell this key personality trait about him and does it in many ingenious ways. The first hour of gameplay is excellent, which is sad because the story quickly falls apart after, until the true ending. You see, there's a bit of mystery in the opening scenes that isn't expanded upon at all. You meet a few of the game's heroines, but it's when you meet Taharu Himiguri that things get interesting. For one, she has cat ears, which introduces the game's one and only choice. Do you touch them? Well, by touching them, you will get a bad end, but it's the way that the scene carries out that grabbed my interest. It's something that I wish the story returned to, but let me just stop you right there and tell you that doesn't happen. Furthermore, the story completely forgets about the cat ears altogether, and they are just never brought up again. Let's get back on track. Muharu hates winter, which grabs the attention of Iniba Usagi, resident scarf girl and leader of the Winter Club. Her and her crew of winter loyalists go around town and make ice sculptures as they soak up the icy breeze. Usagi wants to enlist Muharu to get him to accept winter into his life, but he refuses for a while until he realizes that he is rather lonely and likes hanging out with a bunch of attractive girls. Who could have figured? Benefits aside from the fact that Usagi sometimes walks around naked in the snow are that Muharu will get to move into a special Winter Club dorm room and live with the Winter Club members who consist of Himiguri, Kanon, Unazuki, and Yuki. These 4 girls each have their own role in the club and are also the romanceable routes. Sadly, could not romance Usagi or the beautiful homeroom teacher. Once you make it through the common route, the game simply allows you to choose which heroine you want to romance. Following the choice, you are treated to a more in-depth and personal look into the respective character's life and begin dating them. Himiguri stands out as one of the best routes because she is also a hater of winter, and the dynamic between the two is just adorable to watch play out. Putting my bias of cat ears aside, she is just a safe lead heroine and has a few complex elements about her that allow her to stand out when compared to the other girls. Surprisingly, I also found that Yuki's route was rather intriguing. Throughout the narrative, she takes a lot of pictures, which plays a role into her route in more ways than one. However, there is no real reason as to why these girls chose Miharu. He just isn't that interesting and has no real standout qualities other than his clever way with words. The theme and the dialogue is kept comical throughout the entire story, which is fine, but there is never any sense of pacing. No, the club isn't at risk of closing, and no, Muharu doesn't have some unique bonds with the club that make him special. The story can be summed up in one sentence: a boy hates winter, and so a group of attractive girls changes his mind. That's it. Still, I laughed more than a few times at the dialogue since it is rather funny, and the characters do grow on you a bit. Character illustrations here are gorgeous, which is something that the developer consistently delivers on in each one of their games. The character CGs are also spread out well and focus on some great moments of the game's story. As for the H-scenes, things are kept pretty vanilla here, and some fetishes are touched on, but nothing that's in your face. I should mention that if you're going to play this game, you should understand that a large portion of the story is cut from the all ages version, including a few character routes. There's a free patch available that restores everything, but without that patch, you're playing a tremendously bare-bones version. Yukikoi Melt is a beautiful visual novel that falls apart within the first hour. There is so much potential crammed into the beginning moments of the game that are never brought up again and make you question why you just spent 20 hours hoping for something to happen that doesn't. However, if you're looking for an exceptionally humorous and lighthearted visual novel about a boy overcoming his hatred for winter, then look no further than Yukikoi Melt. Noisy Pixel is giving Yukikoi Melt a 6.5 out of 10. Thank you for watching. Please read the full review at noisypixel.net. Noisy Pixel is run by a group of gamers who work hard to deliver news, reviews, previews, and more. Please subscribe to keep up with all our future content.